I think One Punch Man is excellent, and I would watch it again. I think it's better than Evangelion. I would rather watch it than Dragon Maid. I would actually, and I would show it to more people. But I think Baki is the superior fighting anime.
But I don't think One Punch Man is a fighting anime.
It's true, yeah.
I feel like it's in the same way I feel like Gurren Lagann is satire mecha anime. That's what One Punch Man is.
Yeah, totally. It's satire for
And
shonen.
and I think that I feel like if you showed people those two anime, people would more often know One Punch Man than Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, oh, totally. One Punch Man is much more
And,
popular.
yeah, well, it's newer, right?
Hmm.
Like it doesn't hurt that it's
Yeah.
uh uh yeah, because like there's some pretty like the problem is that One Punch Man suffers because of Saitama's character for me.
Yeah.
Like I understand that he's supposed to be it's almost like a fucking isekai
Yeah,
because
right.
like everybody in the show is a real person and he's just like, oh, I got these superpowers, right? Like it almost feels like that.
Yeah.
And you're just like, and like all the
It's
other characters are so cool and so serious, and then he's just like,
it's so good though. Like that's such a smart way to play and to write. Like in the way of like I'm going to satire this genre. He made the perfect satire character. Anyway, I'll move on. I think it's a very good show. I don't think it's art, but I'd rather watch it than My Hero Academia. If someone was like, "Do you want to watch all of One Punch Man or all of My Hero?" I'd be like, "I want to watch One Punch Man."
but is that also a function of the number of episodes? Like when I was talking about the movies,
Yes.
how like there's so much more opportunity to fuck up the longer you go.
The answer to that is yes. But I've already mentioned, I think in the previous one, that I think a succinct anime that doesn't overstay its welcome is much more powerful than uh, otherwise.
Well, I think that there's a lot of space for the ones in this excellent would watch it. Well, with One Punch Man and Baki specifically, I think that there's room for those two series to fall.
Yeah.
Like if they go, because One Punch Man is already ridiculous, and Baki's ridiculous, but it's like at least closer to reality than One Punch Man. And if they get too ridiculous, I mean, he was boxing a fucking praying mantis. It was, um, but yeah, I'm fine with it being in there. Like I can appreciate it for what it is, and I don't know that I would watch it again, but I think it's the one that I would show people.
Yeah.
Like I think it's more that I would make the recommendation for somebody to watch it.
If like someone was getting into anime and they're like, yeah, I don't know what to watch. Be like, have you seen One Punch Man? Definitely on my recommendations.
Especially if it's a dude.
Yeah.
Like if it's a girl, I'm not recommending One Punch.
Girls are getting recommended our next one, Demon Slayer.
Yeah, girls love how fucking shredded the guys are. I I think that it's in the pumpkin tier.
I do too. Excellent and watch again.
Yeah, I think that the movie is so good,
The movie,
and like
yeah, that's the difference though. I think the movie like puts it like
I think the movie pushes it so far up,
it's like
and
here. It's
like
like top three of the excellent would watch again.
and like those three genres are very different.
Yeah.
I mean, Erased and 3 centimeters are kind of close, but I think, especially with how the last arc ended, I think that the show shows such range between the situations we can put them in
Hmm.
because like the whole entertainment arc, like it was such a huge contrast to the way the first season or two were,
Hmm.
and even the movie. And it's like I think it really brings life to the world, showing that all of this stuff that they're fighting and trying to protect exists in all these places at once, right? It's not like Inuyasha where it's like feudal Japan, right? Like they're never in cities, they're always out in the middle of fucking nowhere,
Right.
right? Like these things are happening there, and a lot of the time the people don't even know that this is happening, right?
I I think. Well, remember we talked about also pacing and like the breadth of an anime making it not as strong. This one is the opposite, where I feel like it has almost perfect pacing. The characters grow stronger in a shonen like way, but it's not drawn out. They reveal the power scaling in a way that seems natural and like uh, ominous too when you think about the villains. Like, um, it's very
But they're
good.
always one step away from death.
Yeah.
And like even the top tier guys, which are supposed to be your pillars, right, are still, you realize that they're still mortal,
Hmm.
right?
And they're not really bringing
And
people back from the dead. Like, there's actual consequence.
yeah, and like especially the last arc, like so much was lost,
Yeah.
and it's like it really sets the stage for where the show is going, and knowing that things are only going to get worse, and like spoiler alert, if you read the manga, you know that things get a lot worse.
I have not read
And
the manga, so yeah.
I have the box set in storage. Um, I haven't read it, but I've been spoiled a lot of things. So I think it is. I think that this show is very much the successor to like My Hero, or
Yeah.
or even Bleach.
It's like a
Like
big three, yeah. If the next big three would have been My Hero, um, this one that we're talking about now, Demon Hunter. I don't know why I couldn't. Demon Slayer. I don't know why I can't talk right now, but and probably I would say Jujutsu Kaisen's the other of the three,
yeah,
but
it's probably JJK, but other people might say Black Clover, but they're wrong. So if
Chainsaw
you think
Man
it's
was
Black Clover,
supposed to
you're
be
wrong.
on Chainsaw Man was supposed to be on this list, but I mean, I don't think the animation was strong enough, and I liked it, but I think Jujutsu Kaisen's the superior of the two.
I need to see more.
Chainsaw
I,
Man.
I need to see more, yeah, before I make that call.
I agree with you. I
Like
do like some of the dynamic of Chainsaw Man, but a lot of it I
I
don't like.
I I'm interested to see what the next season is like. Once I find out what the next season is like, I will make the call, because like my opinion on JJK is pretty solidified.
Hmm.
Like I don't think JJK can get much better than like where it's at for me. Like
Right.
I think it could move up one category, but there's no way it's moving up. Like
Uh,
I don't think it would ever get to the point to be excellent would watch again.
yeah, I agree.
Um, but I think I need to see more character development other than than the main three characters. But I feel like the main three characters have more personality than the three characters in JJK.
Yeah, totally. I'll agree with you there.
I think there's more variance, and but I think that Denji is super dumb, and I hate super dumb main characters. But I would rather watch him than Itadori.
Yeah, I can kind of agree with that. I like Denji's zest for life. Like Itadori, he's super tropey. Like I'm doing this for my friends. This is my cursed seal. I mean, sorry, cursed finger. I have a fox. I mean, I'm sorry, a demon inside of me. That's the problem with Jujutsu Kaisen. Whereas Chainsaw Man, at least the ideas are original. The dynamics between the characters are interesting. Like the dynamic between Denji and Power is fun, and Denji and Makima, or I think that's her name, right? Is the main woman, the woman who squishes people.
Is it Makima or is it Mishima?
I was gonna say Mishima too, but I think it's Makima. But yeah, I think that's more interesting than the Jujutsu Kaisen dynamics. Komi can't communicate. This
So
one's
you haven't watched it. You
yeah.
haven't watched it, right?
I've seen an
Uh,
episode here or there, but I haven't watched the whole thing.
I think it's very much a slice of life anime. I think that it's super tropey and self aware, and I think that it's probably, I would say that it's somewhere between Goblin Slayer and JJK for me. Like I like it, but I got to like they took a break and then they had like the Christmas episode and I didn't catch up with it. But it's also on Netflix. I I think that it's a good watch, but it's very much a slice of life. Characters are very tropey. It's kind of ridiculous. at times, but it's more like you're watching it to try to experience the high school experience because there's there's a I don't want to say trans or non-binary, whatever. There's and then there's like then it has like the classic like oh we're all in love with her trope, and then like then you realize she has social anxiety, and it's just like you get to see it from different perspectives.
Mhm.
Um,
Would you say
but
it's
I
better
like
or
it.
worse than Food Wars?
I I think it didn't have the amount of time Food Wars had to be like I feel like if you eat Taco Bell every day, you're gonna hate Taco Bell. And I feel like that's my thing with Food Wars. It's like how many times can I watch somebody get like have an orgasm from this?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whereas Comey really feels like self-contained episodes, more like Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, but like there's not the ridiculous dragon part of it. And I think it deals with like the mental health stuff pretty well. Like I think that it's an expression of like the fear and like, having support from people around you, giving you that courage to try to stand up. And that it's a journey, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I like the show because I think it does good with like the mental health stuff the same way when like that Gangsta did. Like
Yeah.
Gangsta has a lot it ticks a lot more boxes, but I think that Comey's a little too tropey to put it up there.
Mhm.
Like I think it's definitely an anime that I won't remember in 10 years, but I
Yeah.
think that I enjoyed what I watched.
Okay. What about Gantz? Did you watch
I only
Gantz?
watched I only watched like a couple episodes.
So here's the thing about Gantz. Every time they try to adapt it, they don't do it right. Gantz is one of the ones where it's like the manga would go like here or here, like way up here, because it's really cool and it deals with some really mature themes, like life and death, and then further in it gets to like aliens and like consciousness that exists beyond human consciousness and how we would comprehend that, and like being subservient to like a creature that exists outside of our dimension. Like it gets really fucking crazy. But the anime is like pretty average. Like it's gory, it's cool. It's got boobies. It would go in the boobies tier if we had boobies tier. But other than that, it's like your average seinen. I would put it somewhere. Uh,
Like trying to insert boxes in between to put Gantz further down.
yeah, right. It's like right over here. I think. It's Kobayashi is more fun. Goblin Slayer. It's more likable. But I think if you're just watching it for boobies and gore, it's better than High School of the Dead.
No, that's fine.
So this is where my other veto would have gone, I think, in this next one. Because me and him have different, very different opinions on this. And this is the one where I'd be like, if it was the manga, if we were doing manga, it would be here, no questions asked. I wouldn't even, I wouldn't, no questions asked. The manga is one of the most beautiful things in the world.
Yeah,
And,
but if it's just the animes, we'd have
no,
to put it all the way
no,
at the
no,
bottom.
no, you say anime. There's only one Berserk
No,
anime.
no, there's been a bunch of them.
No, I
There's been
refuse.
a bunch of very terrible anime.
We're only judge. See this picture? This is the '90s one with "Put Your Grasses On" and the fucking amazing soundtrack, and overseen by the actual author. Like this is the good one. I think the other one was overseen by him too, but I don't. He was dying, so he has a pass on the CG stuff. Um, I would put it either here
Where
or here. For me, it'd be excellent or appreciate.
I think it's fine where it is.
Appreciate. I would watch it before I would watch. For me, it goes like right
I I
here.
I couldn't watch it again.
No,
No, I don't know. Like at this point, like with hindsight, like the characters are very tropey, and I understand that like it was a different time, right? That wasn't supposed to be super tropey, but like now it's just like everything that's in it has been done before. Sort of the same way it feels when you watch like JoJo.
Yeah.
because it's like all this stuff has been done and I've seen it so many times, and now that I'm watching it now, but I watched it then. I watched it back then.
Well, it's kind of funny how that works too, though, because it's like it really did originate a lot of those tropes. Like, but going back to watch it after seeing those tropes, they've been refined and done so many times that you watch this and it feels dated.
And like the other thing is that they've had so many opportunities to fix it,
Don't I?
and they've failed so many times.
I
And like
know.
it is absurd. Like like a broken clock is right twice a day. They fucked up so many times, and it's like, who keeps saying this is fine? Like, are you just like, oh well, we're just happy to get an anime out there? And then there's like some very stupid decisions that are made, and it's just like we tried to watch the last series.
We did, yeah.
Like we watched the first episode together, and like
It's
you're
so
like, oh
there's
man, it's
the
CG.
rabbit and then the clang. Like rabbit, the rabbit part and the clang, it literally was it's so ugly. Like it's worse. It was okay, so the first try at the CG Berserk was like the first try at like a fully animated anime. Like it was before Promare, it was before um I'm trying to think what are the big ones. It was way before Arcane or Trigun or any of these ones that are now using the full CG medium. Or it's kind of like a half and half. It's like a hybrid. But they just did it so bad. It's so stiff. It's so ugly. It's just so bad.
They
A-
made so many silent decisions that didn't make sense to me.
And it's so depressing too because like they release these like leather bound like I think they're 150% sized up manga like collections, and he's revered as one of the greatest mangakas in the world. Like he
Was
was,
was
yes, yes. Rest in peace, Kintaro. But he and it's like he's been writing this story since the 80s. He was like the Hajime no Ippo guy was his mentor, and he was like the Hajime no Ippo guy was like I could never keep up with Miura. He's like once I started teaching Miura, he was like I knew he was going to surpass me. And if you look at this manga and you look at some of these pages, they're like full two cover pages, and it's like full armies, like a human army, and then an army of like creative demons, and each person is different. The amount of work he put into doing these still frames, it's almost I don't want to say sacrilegious, but like for him to do that much work and then for the studios to do so little work, it's hurtful.
the thing is like I feel like so like somebody took over through the art for Akira Toriyama. I
Yeah.
think his name's Toriyama. I feel like it's the same kind of thing where like you're passing the torch,
Hmm.
and obviously this has happened. Like this was forced, but he was still working at the same time. But it's like you see the artists like come into their own, trying to honor the source material at the same time, right? But
Right.
then like I don't think the Dragon Ball series does with like the animation. Like there's so much more respect. Like I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like when I watch that show, it almost feels like to me that they don't care about
It's frustrating. It's incredibly like the things you're saying are the things that I feel too. I mean, and it comes from me who I really care about that show and not like I'm sorry that manga. I care about it and not in the edgelord way where it's like oh look how cool Guts is and he's cutting things up and he's unbeatable. I like it as for what it is. Like if you look at it like a 30-year project from a man who emulated everything from classical Renaissance art styles to like Indian art styles. It's more or less it's a magnum opus of the manga as a format, and to have it adapted so bad so many times, it's like just leave it alone. Just don't do it. Just fucking leave it alone.
it. I think that any remakes are in the future are gonna suffer because of what's happened.
Yeah.
Because like I just don't understand how you could miss so many times.
Well, that's
Like
the
I feel
thing.
like that anime is like the stormtrooper of animes. Like you can't hit shit.
Yeah, it's true. Well, the thing is, the 90s one wasn't bad. The 90s one was pretty true to form, but it only covered the backstory arc. It didn't cover any of the fantastical stuff. The only thing that's really fantastical in the original one is when you see Zod for the first time, the first demon that you see, and of course, the sacrifice. And those scenes, when you watch them, you're like, holy shit, right? Like, this is insane. I've never seen anything this macabre or like. Um, it's like body horror, surrealism, Hellraiser kind of stuff. It doesn't really exist in a format other than in Berserk. And for them to consistently get it wrong, it's like remaking Evil Dead, right? You just can't do it.
But they did remake Evil Dead.
They did actually. They did a really good adaptation, but they adapted it and it was really good. The Ash vs. Evil Dead series was awesome.
Oh, they made a movie too.
Yeah, but the movie sucked. They're making
But they
another
made
new
it.
movie. Did you see that?
I mean, I'm sure it'll be just like Berserk.
All right. Terraform Mars. To end on. I mean, it's better than Attack on Titan.
See, the thing is, I was interested when I was watching it. Like, I don't think it's a background show, but I don't think it's a good show. Like, I feel like there should be almost this tier of like, I feel like sometimes the appreciate but wouldn't watch again category is like also the bad stuff.
No, come on. There's good stuff in that one.
No, but I'm saying that like there's almost like a separate category between average and background shows. Like, it's not good, but I liked it.
Yeah, oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, like this was definitely not good, but I really enjoyed it.
It is such absurdist anime, and there's like so much science, and they try to justify everything in it. And it's
it's
like,
it.
but you was fighting like muscly cockroaches, like.
Well, I think it's funny because like if you think of the science in fucking Doctor Stone, it's like they really try to apply real world science to Doctor Stone to create the Deus Ex moments, right? No, no, none of that in Terraform Mars. This is not real world science. This is just absurd. They turn into like they fight cockroach people that punch their heads off, and they're on Mars. Like, just think about that premise. It's weird.
Like that was my favorite part, that they built up that one chick who was
Yeah.
like talking shit the whole time, and then right when she gets off the thing, they punch her head off. And you're just
Like, oh, okay.
like, you're like, oh, okay, I get what this show is now.
It okay. So you know what it feels like? It feels like Gaunt's. Gaunt's is kind of like that, where it's like they build, 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 and then they face this adversary where it's like, oh, well, you didn't stand a chance anyway. That's kind of the whole point, right? Terraform Mars is like that, but Terraform Mars is so much more fun than Gaunt's.
Yeah, because like I think it's cool that it almost has like the My Hero Academia quality, where it's like, oh, I've had these powers, so I've learned the way to fight with them,
Yeah.
right? Whereas like you're like, we use these insects or birds or snakes or something or whatever, like whatever animal they ended up using it, and it made them able to fight these things, right? But it's like you have their same weaknesses and all this stuff, and it turns into this. It's a fighting anime more than anything,
Hmm.
and the way they break down everything, it's really enjoyable. Like I think it's fun to watch, but like if you don't like it, I'm not gonna stand this fucking anime.
Yeah, it's not
Like
one where you're like, this is great. It's just like, yeah, it's a fun one.
like it's not bad. It's not good. It's a solid 7. I think that's let's find out. Let's find out what they said. Let's uh Terra okay. Terraform Mars on where's show me my anime list. Has a 7.
A 7? Wow.
Wait, listen, not only a 7, but a 7.001.
Though 001 is just for that part where her head gets punched off. That's why it's just above.
Well, I mean that's the manga. That was the manga
Oh,
rating.
okay.
The anime doesn't have
Oh, that's funny.
like really exactly that number.
Well, what do you think,
So
Zach?
it
This is
literally looks like a 7.
I'm sorry. What do you think, Piro? This is our final list here. Any adjustments that you would make?
I'd move both of the Fate series above Digimon because I'd watch them both again. I would watch it again.
Yeah, it's true. Would you? I'd watch the Fate
And
Stay. Yeah, okay, yeah, I like that.
you can only watch kaiju one. Here, let's go through the whole thing. Um, I feel like the top two, like the two blocks at the top, are probably where they should be.
Yeah, it looks good to
Like if you
me.
take, because I'm looking at them without the hentai in it.
Come on. It's not hentai, it's a fantasy anime with compelling characters and conflicts to overcome. It's called Dragon Pink. Go look it up.
I hmm, I feel like No Game No Life should be ahead of Silent Voice. I but I like I said, I don't have the best opinion of the main character, and I feel like if you can't self-insert in that movie, it's hard to like it.
Yeah.
Um, hang on, I'm not sure the story. Um, yeah, I'm pretty all right with the list the way it stands now, and I'm like 100% fine with everything that's in the unwatchable list. If you like these shows, that's fine.
It's not fine.
If you if you think they're good, you're wrong.
Well, I mean, let's make an addendum to that. If you like these shows, it's fine. But if you like these two shows at the bottom, go to therapy. Please. Go find
Like
therapy.
if you well, I think it's like that too. If you love ReZero, I think there's something wrong. There's something broken in you that you need to go talk to someone because you got a lot of rage that you need to get out.
And on that note,
Um,
I think we should call it. We got D&D in another 30 minutes, and the video is already about 2 hours long. So if you sat through it and you have opinions, please let us know your opinions. If you hate it, I
yeah,
really want to know you hated it.
and if we said one your favorite anime was shit, good, good. I'm glad you know. Somebody needs to tell you.
Yeah, you.
Change your life, make better decisions.
We're handing you deodorant right now. Please put it on.
Like nobody else is gonna know. We did this to you very privately. Nobody's gonna know that this was your favorite anime, or that we had to fix your worldview. But Asta just screams all the time. He's not a real character.
And Baruto's a spoiled bitch. I'm ending
Sorry.
it. That's how we're
Deal with
ending.
it.
Deal.